looking forward to the season getting underway, right?
Yeah, can't wait. I think it's been a really big build-up, particularly for our domestic players. They've had a long pre-season, so it's great we've got some cricket to look forward to, and even more so having all our internationals here as well.
Does it get bigger than a Sydney derby at North Sydney Oval at the start of the season?
No, I don't think so. We certainly look forward to it. We generally have 2 games against the Sixers throughout the season, so it's a pretty even contest as well over the years, so yeah, can't wait to get out there.
How are you feeling about hub life?
Yeah, it's going to be a different way to play and prepare and those sorts of things, but we got a little bit of insight to it during the international series before the start of WBBL, so in some respects some of us know what we're in for, but it would be really nice to get it in the hub and see some familiar faces and some people we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it might be a bit more like a World Cup atmosphere than a typical season.
Yeah, potentially. I think with all the teams in the one spot, it would be nice to see everyone. We're all going to go through a pretty similar experience together, but most importantly, we've got some cricket to look forward to, which is really exciting.
And what do you reckon Heather and Tammy will bring to the team as the new guys coming in?
Yeah, well, some experience first and foremost. We've got a really young Thunder group, but they're exciting, so it's really nice to have some senior players around to complement that, and yeah, looking forward to what they can bring.
Do you get a hit out with them before the first game?
I think we'll have one hit out together, so they've completed their quarantine, which is nice. I think they'll train today separate from our team, and we'll have one hit out together before our opening game.
And you're looking forward to seeing what Sammy Jo Jonassen can do in the lime green?
Yeah, really excited to have her along. Even training the last fortnight, she's been a breath of fresh air. She's obviously a really skillful player as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to not only bowling but hitting some big bombs with the bat as well.
And your coach Trevor has just got out of quarantine too. When do you actually get to see him?
Later today, hopefully, from a distance, of course. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him. They've obviously had a pretty tough 14 days getting through quarantine, but we're really grateful that they've come out and looking forward to, I guess, all coming together in the hub.
What's on the agenda for this week? Have you got some training before the first game?
Probably to bowl and bat and eat as many balls as possible.
How hard is it to get your bowling loads up after being in quarantine for 2 weeks?
I'm quite nervous, to be honest, but I'll see what I can do in 5 days' time. Hopefully the experience kicks in.
What do you like about playing in the Big Bash and playing here in Sydney?
I think it's just one amazing tournament. When we got here yesterday, just realised again how blessed we are to be here and how much effort Cricket Australia put in to make all of this happen.
And you like playing against the Thunder, with the rivalry?
Look, all the games are tough, all the teams are pretty good, but yeah, hopefully this year we can start our season off on track.
Yeah, last season didn't go to plan at the end there. Does that make you hungrier to make finals again this year?
I think so, and the fact that we've actually not been playing cricket, it just makes you hungry to play cricket again. And with the season we had and the performances we put in, we weren't too proud of ourselves, and hopefully this year we'll start with a win.
Are you looking forward to playing with some of those young quicks in the Sixers lineup, like Stella and Haley?
Yeah, I always get to face them in the nets, and they always seem to bounce me. Hopefully they'll do that to the Thunder on Sunday, but yeah, looking forward to it.
That's a bit bold, bouncing you in the nets.
Every single session, I think I should give it back a bit this year.
I think so, that's very bold. And I guess, has it been tough in South Africa not being able to play since March?
Yeah, it has been, especially with me being sick in the World Cup. I feel like 1 year of my career is gone and I haven't really played any cricket. But hopefully, yeah, this is the start of things getting back to normal again.
And are you enjoying the fact you'll be playing against so many other Proteas this time?
Yeah, it's not always nice because they know by now the way you think and what you do. So it's a big contest, especially at North Sydney. But looking forward to the challenge.
Is there anyone from any of the other South African players you think will go really well this tournament?
I think Laura Wolford could surprise us all. I know she's been labelled as someone that's not really a T20 player, but even the camp we had back home, I was really surprised with the way she's hitting the ball.
And Lydia Greenway's coming on as an assistant coach. Are you looking forward to working with her?
Oh, look, I try and spend as much time as possible with the coaches. I always try and learn. I'm looking forward to experiencing that with her.
Walking into the hub, there's bright colours. They've really decked it out really well for us all. So, yeah, it's exciting to see everyone, all the Vic girls in quarantine. They've been let out for the last 24 hours too, so they're really excited as well. So there's a great feel about it all.
Are anything you want to do while you're there?
There's heaps to do. Lucky we've got 6 weeks to get through it all, but we just walked in and bright lights. I thought there were smoke machines, but there was a couple of mosquito repellent things, flames. It was really cool. There's been so many people that have put in the hard yards behind the scenes, and we're just walking into it now and seeing the result of it all, which is, we're very lucky.
Have you thought much about what the vibe might be like having all 8 teams together for the whole tournament?
Yeah, it's pretty unique. I can't imagine us being through anything like this before, but it's like a bit of an athlete's village in there. It's a big dining hall, cafe, breakfast and everything like that. I think it'd be awesome. I think it's a pretty small sort of community where everyone seems to know each other, and we've all got good mates from other states, so it's a great opportunity to be able to catch up with them, and we've got plenty of time to do that.
After a couple of semi-final appearances, how hungry is this group to go a step further? Yeah,
look, we're pretty hungry. The last couple of years we've taken great steps in the right direction, and we've got a pretty core group that's stayed along the ride so far. So add in a couple of faces like Lizelle Lee, and hopefully we can go a couple better this year.
We've seen the Vixens and the Storm and a few teams talk about doing it for Victoria and trying to cheer on people from back home. Are you guys sort of also motivated to do Victoria proud?
Yeah, absolutely. We know we're extremely lucky to be here, doing what we love and being able to play cricket, and we've all been affected. Our families have all been affected in some way or another, and to be able to come here and hopefully just to put a smile on their faces will mean the world to us, and we know we've definitely got them in our minds, and there's sort of a sense of doing it for them, and as the Vixens did, and they so hopefully there's a Melbourne team at the top right at the end. Hopefully it's red, not green.
And does that mean a derby with the Stars is kind of the perfect way to start?
Yeah, it would be. It is a great way to start. Be a good way to end as well. But we're really pumped. Obviously they've got a couple of big ends. So we're definitely wary of them. We always have some tight games, and we're definitely really keen to get out there.
Are you excited to be here in Sydney and ready to go for WBBL?
Absolutely, WBBL always an exciting time of year, and always a great competition. So looking forward to getting started with the Stars.
What was it like reuniting with your Stars teammates after a few years away?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, most of them are coming out of lockdown here in Sydney, so they're happy to get out. But I do know most of the girls already from Victoria and the internationals as well, so it hasn't been too bad getting back in.
And what were your first impressions of the village?
Yeah, the village is great. I think they've done an excellent job with the setup. The coffee's good, which is the main thing, and the food's good as well. So I know a lot of people have put in a lot of work to get it up and running and make it as good as it can be, and I think they've done an excellent job.
And what are you expecting this first weekend? Starting off with the Melbourne Derby is pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to know how all the teams are going to shape up. They all look really good and really got some high-class players and some good depth. So first game against Melbourne Renegades, we've spent a lot of time with the Renegades girls, both in Sydney and in Brisbane as well. So it'll be interesting to come up against them.
And you've got Natalie Siver, Catherine Brunt in. Did you have a bit of a word to Nat to get her across from Perth?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. She's obviously a great player and has been for a while now. And Catherine Brunt brings a lot of competitiveness, and she's a world-class player too. So it's nice to have them on the Star side.
Anyone you're expecting to step up and find a new level in their game this season?
Yeah, I think Tess Flintoff has played a couple of games in the last few years, and she's still going through year 12, which is a great effort to be here, but she's getting better all the time and has had a good pre-season, and looking forward to her getting out there.
That must be an interesting dynamic for the hub too, having people doing year 12 exams and stuff in here.
Yeah, it is. I've spoken to a few of the younger girls. They've been doing really good study times, getting together and getting all that stuff out. So it's a great effort for them to come along and be involved. It's obviously a very important year for them. But there's a lot of different people in the hub with different situations, and for everyone to come in and be involved is great.
Yeah, what were your first impressions of the village?
Well, it was a little bit overwhelming, to be fair. There was you get so much information coming in that then when you actually get there, and then there's music pumping, there's you're sort of in this big, you go behind this big gate, and there was like a lot of people in and around, but it was overwhelming but exciting.
And how were the preparations going for the heat before you left Brizzy?
Yeah, things were going really well. Everybody's in really good shape, which is really nice, and sort of we've got quite a few new additions this year, which is really exciting, and they've all sort of hit their straps. We got like Nick Hancock's bowling as fast as I've ever seen her, so I'm looking forward to seeing her unleash early on in the tournament, hopefully. And it's nice to sort of have our Kiwi internationals rejoin us again. That obviously after the recent series against them, it's nice to call them teammates again.
And did you get a chance to meet Nadine de Klerk before you left?
Yeah, I did. So she was she was quarantining in Adelaide for her 2 weeks, and she came up for a few days prior to me coming down. So she just sort of seems like a big ball of fun. She's really excited to get in and amongst it, and we had some centre wicket scenarios yesterday up in Brisbane, and she performed really well and was a bit of a live wire in the field. So she'll be another good addition to have around, and somebody with a lot of energy.
I think you're going to hear a lot of people talking about the three-peat in the media and on broadcast this season. Has the team discussed it at all?
Yeah, we have discussed it a little bit, but in saying that, it's sort of the only way we've really discussed it is the fact that how cool would it be if it happened. But at the same time, it's like we've been a team that's sort of based purely around processes, not necessarily our outcomes. And we know that there's going to be the noise in and around it. There's going to be the conversations, the talk and whatnot. And for us, it's about sticking to what we know. We know that every team comes into the WBBL on 0 points. Everybody comes in to want to win the tournament. So we're no different. It's sort of, if it comes to it at the end, then that would be an incredible achievement. But in saying that, we know that it's not going to be easy at the best of times. So we just know if we play the cricket that we want to play and put it out there on the park, that the results will essentially take care of themselves.
How are you feeling about the tournament?
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously a lot of work's gone in to get this tournament up and running, so it's really cool to see all the teams sort of filtering into the hotel, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, what have been your first impressions of the village?
I was actually really impressed. I didn't really know what to expect walking in, but they've sort of little touches with the WBBL stuff all over the hotel. They've really embraced the whole hub life thing, and a lot of really cool activities that I've seen. The girls are loving the ping pong, and I've heard there's going to be a DJ, so I'm sure that's going to be popular with a few of the girls. So it looks really cool at the moment.
Have you tried out the X-Golf or anything yet?
No, I haven't. There's only right-handed clubs, so I feel like there's a bit of discrimination there to the left-handers. So no, I haven't been able to get on it yet, but I would like to.
Yeah, it's discrimination.
Yeah, I went in there and I saw Meg Lanning on the golf simulator, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, is there any left-handed clubs? And she was like, nah. And I was like, all right, see you later. So I don't know, maybe that's ruled out for me. I've obviously got a lot of new faces in the group, so it'd be really cool to firstly meet everyone properly and get out there as a team for our first game.
You're looking forward to being reunited with Priestley and Calendar?
Yeah, I am. Obviously played a fair bit of cricket with them back at the Thunder, and it's really cool that they've come down to Hobart for the season. I'm really excited. Hopefully they get us off to some good starts at the top of the order, and hold us in good stead to win a few games.
You've had a couple of big blows with Taylor Blemick injured and Maisie Gibson injured. Are you confident you can still cover their losses?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, Taylor's had a bit of a longer-term injury and really disappointing. She's quite unique, isn't she? There's not a lot of girls that have the pace that she possesses, so definitely really hard to replace. And also, obviously, Maisie Gibson did her ACL not that long ago, which was really unfortunate. And she was a really key bowler for us last year, so we were really going to miss her. But we've brought in a few new faces, and I'm sure they can do the job.
Yeah, what is the key for you guys with a bit of a new look squad to doing better than last season?
Yeah, well, obviously, last season was a little bit disappointing, and the coaches have obviously had a look at the squad and had a look at things that we probably needed to do better and recruited accordingly. So, I thought we were pretty solid with the ball last year, and it was probably our batting that potentially let us down at times. So, we've recruited some big hitters. We've got Chloe Tryon back, we've got Gnomes, like you mentioned, as well as Precy at the top of the order, and Hayley Matthews is back as well. So, I think we've added some depth to our batting order, and hopefully we go a little bit better than last season.
Have you got a new leggy coming in, young Amy Smith? Do you reckon she might get a game? What does she bring?
I don't know, maybe. Maisie's gone down, so she's sort of similar, bowling leg spin as well. Very young, very talented. I did a lot of training with her in the pre-season and really liked what I saw, and I think she's got a lot of skill, and it'd be really exciting if she got a crack in this tournament. I'm sure she'd be very excited.
Sophie, how does it feel to be wearing orange?
Yeah, it's very orange, but look, it's really nice to be in Scorchers colours. Obviously been a while now since being announced, but looking forward to getting stuck in.
How's it been arriving in Sydney this week and catching up with everyone?
Yeah, it's obviously been a little bit different, all into the WBBL Village, which is an awesome setup. It's a little bit different coming in when there's all 8 teams here, but it's been great. We had our first training session yesterday, I think it was nice. The girls hit the ground running, and it'll take a couple of days, I think, for everyone to sort of get a bit familiar with each other and build on those relationships and, straight into things. I think we've got a practice game tomorrow and then first games this weekend.
You had a little bit of extra time in Brisbane. Did you get a chance to start having conversations with Shell about plans?
Yeah, look, we've been really good. We've had a lot of communication over the last couple of months actually, and the whole Scorchers group we've been sort of staying in contact and starting to build on how we want to play and the style that we want the Scorchers to go about this season. So, look, she's been great. We've got a really good relationship. We've obviously known each other for a while, so it's nice to be back on the same side again.
And without not too much time to prepare, are you confident the squad can still gel in time for that first match?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we've got people sort of coming in from all sort of different situations. Obviously, the Australia lot with Moons. We've been playing cricket, but the WA girls have been training really hard. I think we saw that yesterday in the training as they were absolutely steaming in with the ball and, some decent shots being played in the nets too, which is great to see. I think everyone's just absolutely hungry to get out there and play some more cricket.
Does it help too that obviously yourself and Moons have played recently, Sarah Glenn's been playing for England, so you're not coming in completely raw there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing as well. I think I certainly felt coming in, it was really refreshing and rejuvenating coming in off such a big break and getting into the swing of playing cricket again is really nice. And like you say, we've had the overseas international players have been playing, and I know the WA-based crew, they're absolutely chomping at the bit to be getting stuck in, which is cool.
There's been a lot of talk about the big signings at the Scorchers this season. Is there any sort of pressure to perform after all?
Oh, I don't think so. I think there's been a lot of player movement around this competition, so I think it's really exciting. I know for me to be able to pair up with Beth Mooney rather than have to chase the ball around the park, it's certainly nice. But I think the great thing that we've got with our squad at the moment is we've got great balance throughout the side, and I certainly don't want it to be relying on a couple of players. I think that's what the best team is going to do in this competition. It's going to be a full squad effort, not just 1 or 2 players, because it's obviously pretty quick fire this tournament. So certainly the team that can have most performers consistently is probably going to be at the top.
And have you guys talked at all about handling hub life and how you might deal with some challenges there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been really open about it, that it is certainly a very different environment that we're playing in this season, and everyone's in the same boat. I mean, I think we're all going to be going through our ups and downs together, and it's about sharing that load. I think it's obviously really important mental health-wise as well, that we're talking about our feelings and what we're experiencing, because it is unusual and it is different, and that's okay. So, yeah, we certainly have spoken a lot about it and how we're going to handle it, but accepting it as well. We're obviously in a really fortunate position that we're playing cricket. I think you have to look too far to see people are still struggling, in lockdown and what else. So we're certainly very grateful for the opportunity that we get to be playing WBBL cricket again.
And what were your first impressions of the setup at the Village?
Yeah, look, it was pretty good. Obviously coming from the international bubble, it's a great setup. I think they've done a fantastic job in terms of what they've got available. It's great space as well, plenty of room to be able to move around, and obviously being able to sort of get out and about a little bit too with, social distancing and masks and whatnot. So yeah, I think there's going to be plenty there for players to be able to take their minds off the game, which I think is going to be really important, just to be able to step away from the cricket field. So yeah, look, I think it's going to be a great setup.
Welcome to Sydney. How have you found it so far?
Yeah, a little bit overwhelming the first day, just getting into the hub life, but feel like we're settling in, and it's just exciting to finally be here after a long wait.
And what were your first impressions of the setup here with the Village?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. First and foremost, you get to see everyone that you've played cricket against, lots of my Kiwi teammates, and the food's been really good, and I think we're pretty lucky with the setup we've got, and now it's just time to get playing some cricket and get all those other things sorted, and we're just ready to get a warm-up game today and be ready for Sunday.
Yeah, so who are you playing in the warm-up, and what does the rest of the week look like for you?
Yep, so today we've got an afternoon match versus the Stars, so that's going to be a good game, and then tomorrow against Hobart, and then we've got a couple of quieter training days, and then first game on Sunday versus the Hurricanes.
How important is it going to be to gel quickly with such a fast-paced tournament?
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge for everyone. You've got overseas players coming off quarantine who haven't played a lot of cricket and haven't done a lot of training. So I guess the teams that can get them into the swing of things as soon as possible. And I guess as well the local Australian players who haven't played international cricket. It's been a long time between an end. So I think the teams that can hit the ground running and just get settled into their units and their batting orders, I think is going to be key. And the start of the tournament is going to really set teams up for the back end.
Have you had time to work out what the batting order looks like since Sophie Devine's departure?
Yeah, we have. I think, as soon as we knew she was leaving, we knew there was going to be a big hole there, but I think we've got Talia McGrath, who's a ready-made opener, so fingers crossed she'll get an opportunity up there. We've got a young player coming through in Annie O'Neill who can bat up the top of the order. Laura Woolvard and Steph Taylor can sort of bat anywhere in the middle order, but they've also opened in the past too, so we've got a lot of flexibility.
And how's the bowling attack shaping up? I've heard a few rumblings that Darcy Brown's looking pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's what they're saying. She's bowling pretty quick as always. I think just stronger and more consistent with the ball. So I'm looking forward for her to getting a start when she does. Adding Maddie Penner with Amanda Wellington's going to be handy, potentially on some slower wickets later in the tournament. So yeah, and our seam attack's always been strong with Shoot and Coit leading that, and Talia McGrath as well. And with Sophie's departure, a few of the seamers are going to have to step up, like Talia and Darcy.